Back in the late 50s, George Benda Sr. started in a company called Veltman Pulver. They were a conveyor manufacturer who served mainly the food industry. And as they grew and our family grew, we all began to work in that same company. When I was there, I worked in the inventory department. Other brothers worked in manufacturing. In the early 80s, around 1984, my dad left Veltman Pulver and we started Benda Manufacturing.
We started the business on the couch in the basement of my parents' house. We were all involved in the conveyor business from a very young age, all through high school is pretty much where we started. We would work at our normal jobs during the day, and then we would come and work at night until the business got rolling, and then one by one the brothers started coming in the business.
Mom and Dad Benda were the first two employees. They worked for free, as most new entrepreneurs do. Sales were slow the first year. I believe we had $7,900 in sales. And as the company grew, we all joined in. I started off just learning how to build conveyors, weld. I was just coming out of college, so I didn't have all the skills the rest of the brothers had. So I started from the bottom, learning on the saw, sweeping, cleaning, eventually learning how to read drawings and weld and do all the precise cuts. From there, as we grew, we moved to larger facilities. I changed my position. I went into purchasing at that time. As the company continued to grow, I went on to vice president, and then from vice president to where we are today, where I'm the president.
I learned the conveyor business from the ground up. I basically started by sweeping floors. I was the first full-time employee besides my parents. Slowly, they brought me on and taught me how to do some things. Welding, fabrication, building framework, things like that. I had some very, very good teachers that were very involved with teaching us how to build things correctly, how to tighten bolts the correct way, how to do things like that. So as we got into the area of CAD software, I transitioned into the engineering department. We call that a department, but it was a one-man department. That was me. And I became the engineers because I learned the CAD program the fastest. So I would draw up the designs, print out the drawings and bring them out to the shop. At the time I brought them out to my brothers. That was the crew that we built the conveyors with. As we grew, we took up bigger spaces. We moved into a 3,000 square foot unit down the street from the first one. From there we expanded into another 3,000 feet. It's allowed us to grow and grow into our business.
Got started counting bolts in the shop before I was old enough to really use power tools. So yeah, I learned everything I knew from my dad. He's a controls engineer here. So when I got old enough, I started building panels in the shop. You know, summer breaks, winter breaks during school. Still work with some of the same guys here today. From conceptualizing the project, finding out what the customer needs, we bring it in through the programming, design, build process, keeping them informed of the process every step of the way, make sure we're hitting the specs of what they need, all the way through to testing, quality control, and commissioning out in the field.
We are totally invested in your project, whether it's one conveyor or a full-blown integrated turnkey solution. We've got your back. Whatever it takes to get the system done, we'll do it. We work closely with all of our customers. We want their ideas. We want to know what their issues are. We'll help them come up with that solution.
From growing up in it, I've worked with people now for 20 years that, they started off as being kind of like, father figures in some aspects. Basing off of what they taught me, now seeing myself in kind of a respected role, working with new customers, branching into new industries and new and more exciting projects.
As we've moved more into leadership roles, that's what I try and concentrate on now, being a good mentor, a good teacher. It's very important for us to teach our staff, especially our inexperienced staff, how to do things right.
So as we've grown and improved our skills and added technology, automations, robotics, we still have that small company feel where we're not going to leave a customer behind. If something's not working, we'll be there. They can count on us to back up everything we do. We have a great pride. It's our family name that goes on all equipment. That's really the separation that makes us different.